Hello.
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 Hello. All right. Hello. Welcome back
We're
to
back.
another fun and interactive episode of Guys Playing Games with me, Perry.
Me, Ed.
And me, Az.
Az is back, guys.
Yay, Az is back.
Yay.
Oh,
We totally didn't
hello.
forget that he wasn't here last week.
Yeah, we totally
Hey.
we didn't even mention it until like 20 minutes in. We're like, oh yeah, Az isn't here, by the way.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
He's feeling better now, though. Feeling.
To be fair, I think I was just really excited about having Boogie on last week. So
To be fair, he was a
everything-
good distraction.
Yeah.
He was a very good distraction.
He was.
So
He
yeah,
didn't have my swearing though, so that's upsetting. He
didn't.
didn't have me all being like, "Oh, fucking William Bum," and like, you
That's
know.
true. We did explain to him that the swearing. He was like, "So do you curse?" And I was like, "Yo, you don't even know." He was like, "Okay."
Oh,
Cool.
the excessive levels of swearing that
Yeah.
comes out of Az's mouth.
It
Yeah.
was actually a really good episode last week. You know, I'm a bit bummed out that you missed it because
I'm guilty. I haven't actually
Yeah.
listened to it yet either. I'm literally.
Oh, you
just,
suck.
wow.
I
I've
haven't, like,
literally-
I'm done.
I've been like Perry the last like 2 weeks or so, and I've just been swamped. And then like this weekend, I was with Liz and stuff, and she don't want to fucking listen to us talk about video games.
Well, she's the shittest then. She needs to sort her poo out and listen. Ed's missus listens every week.
Yeah, it's true.
She's probably the first listener we have every week.
And she knows nothing about video
Yeah.
games, which
She
makes
doesn't
it
even care.
even
She just
weirder.
listens. She just likes the sound of my voice. I mean, Ed's voice.
Very nice of her. Listen, this clearly isn't as nice. And Liz, if you're listening, you are nice.
Well, she won't
You
be.
are.
You just said she won't be. So
Oh yeah, but
You're
she'll
fine.
be like, but this will be the 1 week where she's like, right, I'm gonna fucking listen this week, and I'm gonna see what you guys have to
Good.
say, and I'll be like, oh,
Good,
please
because
don't.
you know why?
You're horrible, basically.
Because if she catches us bitching about her this week, it means that she'll listen next week as well to find out if we've been bitching about her again.
yeah,
This
this
is a
is
very
all-
good point. I'll make her listen now, just so she can
Yeah.
listen, because there's important shit said about you this week.
We are 2 minutes and 23 seconds in, and we're already tangenting. Like,
it's good. It's all
just-
good.
It's no
It's
change.
all good.
It's no.
Let's
No
not
change.
lie to everyone. This week's a bit of a. I think me not being here last week, this week's all a bit like, oh god, what the fuck are we talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Because we don't have a guest. We haven't really spoke about what we're talking about. So we're just gonna go with it. We've got some news.
This week is legitimately going to be
Freeform.
a freeform podcast. Like, there's no structure.
We did talk. Yeah, we are going to talk a little. We're going to touch on a bit of a subject, which we were just chatting about. We're going to talk about console versus PC.
Oh, yeah, okay. We
So
can, do
we'll
that.
have a bit of a chat about that.
We can do a
and
little bit of a talk about that.
bit of a
I want to talk about
Battle
some-
Royale.
The battle of all battles.
Yeah, I want to talk about the battle since the beginning of gaming.
pretty much. Yeah.
And I want to talk about a little bit some of the games I've been playing this week. But that's
RuneScape?
about it, really. Yeah, I have been playing RuneScape, and I got some really cool drops in RuneScape this week.
Did you?
But I don't want to talk about them, so I know that Az is not interested.
No, I know what you're going to talk about. I know fully because I semi-played it with you, and then
You
yeah.
you played it for like an hour, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, my internet died,"
and then I just
I'm
went to bed.
intrigued.
and then just went to bed,
I'm
and then didn't
intrigued.
play it. Whereas Chip and I, so we've been playing multiplayer Stardew Valley.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you were
And
talking about last week, of
It's
course.
fucking great. It's amazing, and I can't wait for it to be like a real thing.
Did you stick to your roles as you were discussing?
Well, we would have if all three of us were playing.
To be fair, right, I'll throw this out there. Literally, starting a game with me on a weekend is the worst time to start a game with me, especially
You
when
can't-
it's
you just
nice
can't do it.
outside.
Yeah, you can't.
It's
do
like Saturday. You were like, "What are you doing? You come on Stardew?" I was like, "Dude, have you fucking seen the weather? I'm going to the pub. Like, I'm going out."
That's pretty much what happened. So like, we were supposed to start on Friday, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to be home until 9." And I was like, "All right, fine, we'll start without you." He logged on at like midnight. Like, you ready to go? And I'm
Played
like,
for like an hour.
we're like day 20 into our farm,
Yeah,
and he logs
it was
in.
like an hour.
But yeah,
My net died, and then like I couldn't rectify it, so I went to bed.
it was good fun though. It was really good fun. Chip and I are really enjoying it. We basically we've passively taken roles. Like he's doing farming and the dungeons, and I'm doing fishing and foraging and stuff.
Nice.
And like, yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
Cool.
It's as a new dynamic to the game, because I figured out as well you could set like profit caps, so because there's obviously two of you in game. Technically, you could be earning like double the amount of gold you would normally. So you can actually cap it at like 20%, 25%, 50%, and 70% profit. 75% profit. So like you're not making as much as you would in like a full game.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it basically means like
limiting yourself.
Yeah, so it means you don't have like double the income you should have at a certain point in the game, you know.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like from the very small chunk of time I did play it with you, was that I mean it's kind of cool that you can drop in and drop out, but I didn't like that we weren't in sync. That kind of threw me a little bit as well. It was like that's why when the next day you were like, "We're gonna play," I was like, "You just carry on without me," because it's kind of for me it's kind of shitty. Like I'd have come in and been like I'd have done like 2 quests or whatever it was. And then you guys would have been like X amount of days ahead, and then it's just like, well, what's the point? Unless it's one of those things, unless where you start together
and you
dedicate
actively time,
only play it together, then it's a bit shit. I think.
Yeah, definitely. It works. That's definitely noticeable when it comes to like. Well, it kind of is a fault. I think it's one of the problems, really. Like the biggest area that this is a problem is like your levels. So when Az joined us, Chip and I were already like level 4 in certain skills,
right.
and Az was like level 1 still. So
I was literally yeah.
So it makes a difference, but I don't know. It's one of those things where like I think after like 2 seasons of play, like you could easily catch up. Like
I mean, you've got to compare it. I mean, I was explaining it to some friends the other day, like how my play works, and I was saying like you got to kind of compare it to like Minecraft. It's kind of like Minecraft. It's like entering a world where people have put like I don't know, fucking 3 days work into a world, and you're like, hey, I've got nothing, and then starting fresh. It's kind of that scenario.
Yeah. I mean, it's good fun though, like planning out the farms and stuff together. Yeah, it's definitely something we'll go back to as well. I've just not had time this week.
I mean, exactly. It's like I could come in and just catch up, but then it's kind of a drag just catching up on your own. Like you're in Discord with each other, and you're like, oh, let's go do this, and we're doing this, and it's like, okay, I've got a level 1 fishing skill. I'm gonna go catch some anchovies.
One thing that was I found kind of overpowered was that once Az had been in the game, we had 3 of each tool. So we could upgrade the tools like whenever we wanted, and it wouldn't cause. So one of the biggest problems in Stardew was like you had to strategically upgrade your tools so that, for example, you upgrade the watering can on a day when the next day it's going to be raining, so you don't have to water your crops because it takes like 2 or 3 days for the upgrade to actually work.
Oh,
so
I see.
You had to be strategic in when you did it, and like when seasons changed and stuff like that.
Because you had spares.
Because we had spares, we could just like literally keep one in upgrade constantly.
Right.
So. It was kind of like by the end of summer, we had 3 steel tools, and it was like, it's kind of broken. It's kind of overpowered. So I think they need to figure out a way that you can do it.
It's just a cool thing they've added in, isn't it? I mean, it's really it's the whole concept of itself. I mean, hence it was single player to start with. I think it's kind of the community wanted multiplayer, and they've gone, you know what, fuck it, we can do it. Let's just add it in.
I think it fully achieves what it sets out to achieve. Like it adds a new dynamic to a game that is the biggest problem with it was you couldn't play it multiplayer, and now they've fixed it. So it's kind of cool as well. Like if you're like a novice like me, like I don't know lots about the game. I've played more on Switch than I have on the PC anyway. But like for me, like if I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, you could just be, it's cool, I'll jump in your game and just show you, like stuff like that. Like exactly.
for people who don't really know what they're doing, like that's a real good thing.
Exactly.
You could just drop into your friend's game and go help out.
It is really fun as well when like me and Chip were both exploring the mine at the same time, because we were getting further because we were able to explore like different areas of the same levels, and then we'd be like, I found the stairs, come over here, like
that's cool.
You know, so we could explore the mines at the same time. But yeah, I like the way. One of the good things I liked as well was that each person's quest that they got a day was different. So it was like 2 people didn't pick up like kill 10 slimes. You know, it was like I would get like deliver a cod to blah blah blah, and
so are they personal quests and they're not shared between you?
Yeah. Okay. And so, but now one of the negative sides is the same thing happens with the story quests. So if someone progresses a story quest, the other person still has to do it. So this is one of the problems that Az had. So like, there's a quest in the game where you have to find Robin's axe, and Chip found the axe, and then I wasn't able to get the axe until like the next day because he'd already looted it. So it was like it would be good if like those quests were grouped and you could complete them for everyone. But
exactly.
otherwise,
Yeah,
it's
there
really
should be
good.
like a host that you join,
It's-
and then you join that host's sort of progress. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, if you could
Yeah.
just get in sync with each other as soon as you drop in, that would be great. Like, and then if you want to start together, you can. But if like you've got a friend who wants to join you later on, and they're just on the same level, not necessarily have the same level skills, but if they could just be on the if your questing was at the same level,
I mean,
you know?
they could easily achieve that though, because you could say
Oh,
you could say like as the host levels up, it pulls points for the people that join, and then when you join the host, you could just put your levels in whatever you wanted, and then
I see. Yeah,
you know, like so.
I mean,
It's like
that could easily be like a settings thing as well. So, like, if you were someone who didn't want to do it that way, it's like have it
Turn it
on
off,
for one,
yeah.
turn it off or on for your server, dependent. Like, there's summer stuff. I mean, like, it's pretty early. Though. I'm pretty sure they've probably just got it to a point where you can actually play together, which is kind of what they've done now, isn't it? It's like, okay, you can actively play together, and as it goes on, I'm sure it will evolve and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
I mean, it's obviously so it is still in open beta, like, so this isn't the final version,
Okay.
and there will be like, I imagine there will be some big people that give feedback. Like it's doing really well on Twitch. Like
Cool.
it's constantly in like 20,000
Wow.
viewers,
That's
which
decent.
is it's really cool. So that's basically me.
Cool. So that's
That's
you.
basically me. Oh, and also I've got a dragon pickaxe on RuneScape,
Nice.
which I've been farming for the last month.
Cool.
Jesus
What have you been
Christ,
playing?
I'll go last. What you got?
Oh, okay. That's like that, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm gonna promo myself in my bit as well. So you what have you been doing this weekend?
Well, what have I been doing this week? Okay,
This
so
is why you want to pass it to me. You're like, fuck,
I don't know. Where am I?
I've done nothing.
Who am I?
So this last weekend, the bank
why am I?
holiday.
Did you get it?
What?
Did you get it?
I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't
It's
hear
an
what you
Avengers
said.
reference. Carry on.
Okay, good. Okay. Last weekend was the bank holiday weekend, and I don't know. I'm assuming it was because of that, but Xbox did a bit of a free games weekend for 3 titles, so you could download and play for free all weekend, Friday to Monday. XCOM 2, For Honor, and Just Cause 3.
XCOM 2.
So I went for Honor because it's something I've been interested in. I kind of in the run up to it, I was kind of interested, and so I thought I'd give it a bit of a bash, so to speak, because there's a lot of bashing goes on in that game.
I'm a Viking.
I know it's had some significant overhauls since launch, so I can't really talk to what.
That's because
state
it was basically broken at launch, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
it
wasn't there
wasn't-
like 2 classes that just wrecked everything else?
Yeah, and like the currencies were like really unbalanced. Like it was like a major grind to like unlock stuff. But yeah, apparently it's seen a lot of fixes over the year and a bit it's been out. And I was surprised at the amount of content there is in the game. Actually, there's a lot of stuff in there now.
It's massive now,
yeah,
especially with
from
all the
the-
additional characters and stuff.
Does it have that
Yeah.
much of a player base?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not in tune with the
I think
community.
ish is the answer.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about this before on the podcast. Obviously, when I started playing it again for a hot minute on PC, I think the player base is it's improving again. It
Yeah.
really dropped a lot, and then I think because they've been sorting out and adding new bits and pieces, it's sort of on an upward trend a bit.
Yeah, there's some quite interesting game modes. Obviously, you have like single player campaigns for each of the 3 factions that you have to work through in order. So you can only play knights to start with, and then you progress to Vikings, and then
Don't like that.
samurai last. Yeah, it was a bit annoying, but they're kind
Don't
of.
like that.
I guess there's a story thread.
What didn't
there.
you like? Sorry, I actually missed what you said. What?
It doesn't like that you can't pick which faction campaign you can play. You have to play knights first. And
Dude, the campaign is like completely secondary to PvP. PvP is the focus of the game. It is a PvP game.
The interesting thing about PvP was this whole seasonal faction war thing that they have. So they have like a global map, and then as you play in PvP games, depending on how you do over a 12-hour period, at the end of that 12-hour period, it then calculates how each faction's done and then rearranges the territories on the map depending on who's like taken and lost ground.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's really interesting, and that's like lasts for like a season-long period, and then at the end of the season, like you get rewards and loot and stuff, depending on which faction wins. So,
Okay.
that was quite nice. Ultimately, I decided it wasn't the game for me because I found it was a really nice and really well put together, but I just found the combat a bit slow for my personal taste. So it's
it's
a decent game, but it's
deep.
yeah. There's a lot of depth to it, and I was really impressed and surprised. But yeah, I just decided
they didn't see my hand gesture because I didn't follow
that's
the
probably
camera.
a good thing. Yeah, I just decided it's not for me, but I can appreciate the effort that's gone into it.
Cool.
Nice, thanks for that, Az. The other thing I've been playing was I've been playing the Destiny 2 DLC 2 Warmind, which came out yesterday.
I was gonna download it. I was actually gonna. So I uninstalled Destiny and I was gonna re-download it because I do want to play it. But then I was like, do I really want to play it though?
I enjoyed the campaign.
Can we just throw this out there before we go into this, just real quick? It's Destiny 2 has been summed up to me that it's obviously not doing too great at the minute because it is in the Humble Bundle monthly deal this month. Like, you can get Destiny 2 on PC for £8. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, it's in the...
Is that with the DLC?
It's in the Xbox...
No, it's base game.
Oh, okay.
It's in the Xbox store sale this week as well. I think it's purely because the DLC's come out, so they want people to...
£8.
Yeah, I think it's like a tenner on Xbox store at the moment. But yeah, they want people to play the DLC, or they want people to come back. They want the player base to grow. I mean, over the past months, they've been trying to turn things around. They've been releasing patches for various stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that came along with this DLC.
But it's all shit that we've seen before. It's like, oh, new swords, new raid lair.
No, but it's not that. I mean, there is that stuff, but the mechanics changes. We've had all the movement and speed and weapon balance changes that they've done recently.
Weapon balance changes? You mean making shotguns broken again?
Pulse rifles are pretty cool.
I was watching King Gathalion do PvP, and he just had a shotgun the entire game. The entire game was running around blowing people away. It was like shotgun melee, shotgun melee, shotgun melee. It's like, oh, okay, that looks fun and interactive.
Well, actually, one of the things they've added for PvP that is new this time is the ranking system. So there is a casual and competitive ranking systems for the PvP now.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yeah,
that is good.
And for the
I appreciate that.
For competitive ranking, there is an exclusive weapon that unlocks at the third.
Are we talking about like a ranking system, like a Call of Duty ranking system, like a Battlefield ranking system where you level up, like
there's
rank.
Yeah, there's
it's like a proper
actual they've called Valor ranks.
Or is it like a category ranking system? So you have like a rating, and then you're match made with people with the same.
No,
rating.
you have a score that goes up and down depending on wins and losses.
So it's like MMR.
And there's win streaks.
Oh, okay, so it's not like that's what I was trying to get at. It's not like it's like a constant thing. So like if you lose, it will go down, and if you win, it will go up.
So on the competitive ranking, it goes up and down. On the quick play ranking, it just goes up.
Okay, and
the competitive one has
so the quick play one is like Call of Duty, but the competitive one
is like an
actual rating.
Yeah,
it's like a
And there's 5 tiers, if you like, so 5 sort of named
bronze,
tiers.
silver, gold, plat, diamond.
Yeah, well, they got stupid names like fabled, legendary, something else. And if you get to the 3rd tier on competitive, which somebody figured out as a solo player is going to take you probably a couple of 100 games, you get an exclusive weapon, an exclusive SMG, which has got some tasty perks, which everyone wants.
Why?
Because everyone's been complaining there's no grind, so they're putting grinds in. The new patrol area has several things to grind out. The new patrol area is really cool. The problem with this
is this limits people who don't like PvP or are shit at PvP.
But there's other stuff they can do. You can't have it both ways. You can't have you can't give everything to everybody and then complain that there's nothing to grind for.
Give someone a grind, that's fine. But give them like a cosmetic or a title or something unique that they can say, yeah, I've done that. Not an item, an actual item that will change the way someone plays the game. Like that's. But if they're
using it in PvP, they're only going to be playing against other PvP players of the same level.
But what if they don't use it in PvP? What if they start using it in PvE?
Well, that doesn't fucking matter to anybody, does it?
Well, it does.
Because they're using it in PvE.
It matters to me.
Like,
don't gate items behind being good at the game. Like that annoys me.
I don't have a problem with it at all. I think it's
This is
good.
the great Destiny 2 debate right here.
I think it's good that they're putting more stuff in. It's not only to grind towards, but it's more challenging to get hold of because, with the base game, certainly, like you were getting exotics fucking left, right, and centre, so they weren't special. There needs to be these special things to strive towards. For these kind of goals, and there's stuff in the PvE side as well. Like there's the escalation protocol,
Horde mode.
Yeah, Horde mode public
Have you
event,
played
which
that?
is going to be fucking difficult.
Have you played it?
I have. We haven't managed to successfully complete wave 1 yet. There's 7 waves.
Okay, I'm downloading this when you leave. I really want
Is this
to
on-
play
wait.
this.
It's on Destiny.
Yeah. Destiny 2 has a horde mode now called
But it's
Escalation.
but it's in the
I'm not
patrol.
gonna lie. I'm patching it as we speak. I just put it up.
So
on there,
it's in the patrol.
Do it
There's
as well. Fuck you.
various places you can trigger it in the patrol area, and you can just run it over and over and over. You just trigger the plates to start it up.
Nice.
And yeah, it's so the first time I saw it, I was level 28. In fact, I'm level 30 now, so I've hit the kind of soft level cap. So I'm up to 30.
Okay,
and
Ed, you've done it, mate. You've given me something
Yeah, all
that's going. Okay, I'm gonna go try it. You've broken me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna I'm downloading it.
Keith and Power playing. Oh, that's nice. I'm downloading it. Let's play it.
That's good podcast content, right?
yeah, no, sorry, yeah, just cut me off and I'll shut up then.
Go on, carry on.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, to give you an idea of how hard it is. So I've hit the level cap of 30, and the thralls that come out in wave 1 are still Red Skull enemies. So they're significantly higher level.
What do you mean the level cap? As in the actual level
So
cap?
I've hit the actual level cap of 30. So I'm now doing my power light level, whatever the fuck it's called.
Wait, is there a new level cap? What was the level cap before?
So the power level, it was 25. It was 25 and 335 for the power level.
Fuck.
And now it is 30, and I think it's up to 370, 380.
Okay, we're gonna lose a lot of time to this game.
Is this behind DLC?
Yeah, it is.
The horde mode and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the second DLC.
Yep.
Warmind. Yeah.
I own neither, so I'll be looking that up in a minute.
Yeah, do it. I just realised starting the download made our connection really shit, so I've paused.
I was literally, I
paused the
didn't
download.
want to cut it off again. I got excited. I was like, "You've done it. You've made me crack and download it again." But I was gonna say, yeah, we probably don't want to. Well, especially you, because you're capturing
actually,
us.
if you're both,
You don't want to download that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I had a lot of fun with that last night. Played a bit more today.
Good job.
New
You've convinced
patrol.
us.
Yeah, the new patrol area is really cool. There's a lot of little
What
secrets.
planet is it on?
Mars.
Mars. Okay.
Campaign a little bit short again, but
the new collectibles.
I mean, yeah. So there's 45 things.
Oh, whoa.
In 45 things of one type. Plus, there's some other stuff that I haven't quite figured out what they are yet. I'm doing a quest line at the moment to discover what these things I keep seeing around the map are.
New quest lines, new exotics. Yay! This is going to be fun. Let's start up Guns with Friends again. let's rally the troops.
I believe a lot of our old squad actually do have it.
Did they really? This is going to be good.
Yeah.
If we can get a squad together to do raid, that would be really cool. Can we? Because we can also do the raid from the last expansion.
The raid lair from last expansion is really good. I highly recommend you play that. This raid lair comes out this Friday, I think.
Ooh.
They haven't announced power levels for it yet, but it's probably going to be
high.
360, probably something like that.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
so is there a way for us to upgrade our weapons? Can we level up our weapons and
you
gear
just
that we already have?
infuse. Yeah, you just infuse.
Just infuse the same way.
So yeah,
Fair enough.
Yes.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I kind of like the infusion system. Like,
I mean, I picked up after the first campaign mission, you get a choice of 3 weapons, and I picked the scout, and I fucking love it. There's no particular reason, but it just feels really good to use.
Are there obvious bottlenecks when leveling up your gear, like there was in the first?
There will be. I think there are
Okay.
There are you'll get to a point, and then it will turn into like a proper grinding.
Is it like +5 again?
Yeah, the +5 mods are still there.
Okay. Cool.
So that's Destiny.
Yeah.
Because we're tangenting again on questions actually we want to ask outside of the realms of this beast.
Basically, Destiny sounds nice, and we're all going to play it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed my time with the DLC so far.
Good.
See how long it extends into the future, but it felt fun to play through
Just
it last night.
One more question for you: how do you compare your experience with this DLC to your experience with the last DLC?
The last DLC was poo. This one is good so far.
Okay, good. Okay.
Good so far. I like that comparison. Poo, but good so far.
Yeah.
This one. Good. Yeah.
Go
Cool.
on then, take it away, Mr.
Let's
Let's change the subject.
we were tangenting again. It's like we're like half hour in, and we've spoke about is like 2 games.
It's true.
Are
We
half
do this
hour?
all the time.
Yeah. We half hour in?
25
Am I right on time?
25
minutes. I was close enough. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So I've been playing games. I've been started playing games on Twitch again. I've joined Ed on the stream hype over the last couple of
You
evenings.
say joined Ed. Ed has stopped streaming this week.
Well, it's only because I'm moving house.
Because you're moving house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
Okay,
to
Ed
dismantle my
stopped
office.
streaming.
Yeah.
Ed stopped streaming. I've
Briefly.
started streaming.
So,
You're taking
so
it, handed the
technically,
baton.
technically, your guys playing games, streaming entertainment. It's still going. It's just with a different streamer for a little bit.
Exactly. And I did update our guys playing games Twitch stream, so it hosts all of us automatically whenever one of us is streaming. So
That's clever,
there you
isn't it?
go. So because we weren't doing that, so that if anyone follows our twitch.tv/GPG live, then you can watch us on there. Or you can find me at twitch.tv/IIAZAII, because that's a really awkward name because I'm an awkward person. Or you can find Ed on Twitch also at twitch.tv/Smyrny9000. Is that, have I got that right?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I want just self promo. I'll
Did a
promo
fucking better
your
job than me
page
there.
too.
Forgot what your name was completely.
I'm Ed.
So yeah, I've been streaming. I've been really enjoying it, and I've been playing. I mean, I've only done it for a couple of nights because I've kind of changed my setup a bit. I've got a second screen on my desk, so like I can't, because I couldn't really stream console, and I've been playing on console a lot recently. So like my desk is here where we're sat now, and then my TV is like on a wall that's like level with my head and out, so you can't really like. It was awkward. You couldn't have the camera and shit, and it was like whatever. So anyway, a friend of mine was getting rid of a nice little screen, so I've got an extra screen now. So put PS4 into that. Sit here and play some God of War, do some streaming.
Nice.
It's quite a nice time. So yeah, but what I've actually been playing is God of War. I'm not going to bark on about it because we've already said loads about it, but game's fantastic. I've basically finished it now. I've got 1 Valkyrie left to kill, and some other little tidbits to tidy up. But yeah, that game, Ed. Get into that fucking house and buy the fucking game.
Yeah, so move in next week, and then that's going to be my moving in present to myself.
Yeah, definitely. It is sublime.
And then
I think
hurry
that's
up and
all.
complete it so you can borrow it to me, lend it to me.
So yeah, if anyone's listening to this podcast on the Friday when we drop it as well, I'm going to be No, not Friday. So will we Wednesday? Fuck,
To
Thursday.
be fair, all day today I've been like, I kept thinking tomorrow's Friday all day today. I don't know,
You know
what's
why?
going on.
I think the bank holidays fucked us.
Yeah, I think it has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely.
Everyone's
Like, it's totally thrown me out.
long weekend. It's Tuesday today, right? Nope.
Anyway, yeah, Thursday I'm going to be streaming some Conan Exiles over on my stream. So come check
okay.
it out.
He's going to be playing with Conan's Will.
I'm just gonna play with the man's willy. I'm gonna make it big and little and big and little, and I'm gonna run around naked. And yeah, no, it seems fun. And a friend of mine's got it, and like it's very Ark-esque, isn't it? In the fact of like you get dropped into this world and you've got nothing, you've got to survive and shit. So,
But it
looks fun.
It's an MMO, yeah. It's not like a BR or anything.
No, it's not. It's not BR. It is MMO-esque, but like I said, it's more like Ark because I think if you get killed, that's it. You're dead. I think.
Okay.
So it is.
I haven't done loads of reading into this game.
So-
All
Well,
I know
no,
is
because it's not like.
So it literally
last
is battle royale.
Man... Well, no, it's not last man standing because it's just like an MMO with permadeath.
yeah. Like, I'm
It's
pretty
not-
sure if you
it's
haven't
not
played
like
Ark,
you have an
so
hour
played
to
Ark.
play.
Yeah. So the aim of the game isn't to kill everyone.
No, it's to survive. But if someone wants to be a dick and run over and murder you, there is PvE servers as well. But I'm going to play PvP because it's more fun.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
But if someone wants to be a dick and come over and fucking take your stuff
So
and kill you,
What it's like it's like on RuneScape when you play hardcore Iron Man mode. When
Yes, okay,
you only
yes,
have one
it's like
life,
that.
and if you die, you fucked.
Yeah.
Sweet. Makes all the sense now.
it
Continue.
is. It does make sense. Why don't you get it? Come play with me.
No.
It's £16. Be fun.
Yeah. So is my RuneScape membership.
I just noticed you're wearing a Destiny t-shirt.
I am, interestingly
Funnily
enough.
enough.
Hey, look at that.
It's a really good
yeah.
Destiny t-shirt as well. Az got it for me from Comic-Con.
It's nice,
I didn't
it's
get it
very
for you.
nice.
You gave me money, but yeah, I'm not that
Yeah,
nice.
but you went there and you were like, "Oh look, I saw this T-shirt. Do you want me to buy it?" And I'm like, "Yes, please do that, friend." So you got it for me.
Please. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's us for the stuff we've been doing this week. We've gone way.
30 minutes.
tangent.
That's fine. It's 10,
We haven't
10
even done
minutes
news
each.
yet. We were going to do PC versus console.
Yeah, we got time. What should we do now? Do you want to reel off some news stuff quickly, and then we'll talk about. Our
Let's do some
discussion
news.
point?
Okay, let's do quick fire news.
Let's do some news.
I don't have any.
News.
I don't have any news.
I've got news. Ed's got news.
Go
We've
on.
got news.
Was that the
I'll
news jingle?
start.
Go on then, do it.
Yeah, that was.
That's a
I
fun
love talking
sound.
about the Switch on this podcast, so I'm going to talk about the Switch. Switch Online service was not announced. People knew it was coming. It was always coming.
That's what she said.
Basically,
Jesus. Really?
the
Is
tone
that
on this episode
is that the level we've
low.
hit?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
See, the week. This is what happens
thank
when I come back. It's all just dick and fart jokes. So yeah, no, Switch Online, because that's a really inventive name, right? Switch Online. Yeah, so that's been announced. It is £20 for a year, which ain't too bad because compared to Xbox Live and stuff. I guess that's because they haven't really got like.
Anything?
It's not like PS4 and Xbox, is it? Like having COD and all that good stuff, and you don't get free games. You get some NES games for free. They've announced. So you get 20 free NES games. You get to play online. That's a hell of a feature.
It's revolutionary.
What else do we get? There's not a whole lot to it, to be honest. I think that's why it's so cheap. It's more like we're going to charge you now, so you have to play online, and that's it. So, but alongside this announcement, they then announced they're not going to bring out the Virtual Console on the Switch. So I don't know if you guys know what Virtual Console is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perry looks
Bemused.
totally confused.
Yeah.
Virtual Console is basically what they had on like Wii and Wii U, where you could play like older N64 games.
Yeah,
and
all
games.
their backwards compatibility.
that.
Backwards compatibility.
So backwards compatibility essentially. They're not going to be doing that on the Switch, they're saying, which
Really? That's
I
surprising.
don't believe. I do not believe this. I feel like that's like they're fending something off, or it's not ready to be announced.
We're a month away from E3. That's all I'm.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems like a weird move. Like it just seems dumb. Like on a portable console where you could play all these classic old games and have them on the go. Like why the fuck would you like not put like stuff like Ocarina of Time and stuff like that? Seems really dumb.
It must be in the pipeline.
Or maybe they'll release it, but not as like backwards compatibility. Like they'll just re-release some of the classic games.
Yeah, well, it wasn't
Yeah.
backwards compatibility anyway. It was digital downloads of old games basically. So you could go in there and you could buy Mario 64 and stuff like that and play them. But it just seems weird that you just wouldn't do that. I feel like I got missing out on a load of money not doing that. So, Ed, you take next bit. I need to close my windows because there's noise outside.
All right. You will talk about. What should I talk about? I'll talk about the Blizzard stuff while you're running it. It's fun watching you run around your lounge. So there's a couple of little Blizzard bits.
Well, my mic picks up everything, so yeah.
Yeah, nice. Blizzard announced, I think it was just today actually, that they're doing a special edition Mercy skin.
It was announced yesterday.
All right, it was announced yesterday. Fucking
I only know that because I was in game and then it popped up like
okay.
at the end of our game. It was like, oh, buy this pink Mercy skin, which doesn't look anything like Mercy instantly.
It
No,
it's
it
just a
doesn't.
pink
Mercy's
Mercy.
face. No, it doesn't. Mercy's face looks different. It looks more like Diva, in my opinion.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's like a bit. Anyway, that's not the important thing.
It's
So
the skin. They can have different face. Soldier changes.
it's a limited edition skin for Mercy with 100% of the proceeds going to breast cancer.
I don't really know how this works because you don't buy it with real money. You buy it with in-game currency. So how
I guess it's
much?
the equivalent.
Can
Blizzard are confident this is going to sell or make money for them because they've already pitched a minimum figure of 250 grand to breast cancer.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to buy the
Which is
fucking
cool.
skin. Well, one, it's a fairly cool skin. It's got new animations and stuff.
Yeah.
And but two, like, if people just have like, I've got like 2,500 gold. I just buy it with 1,000 gold. Like, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's.
But I would like to know how, like, what the conversion rate is, like of in-game currency to real money, Because it would be because I don't think you can. Can you actually buy in-game currency with money? I thought you could only buy.
You can only
chests.
buy loot boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually.
You sure it's
So-
done for in-game currency?
Yeah,
then?
can you?
Well, it is.
Can you buy it through like the Blizzard website? Because sometimes they stick like WoW mounts.
So I
and
checked.
stuff.
I checked the store, the Blizzard store, and it's not actually in there.
Oh, okay. I've no idea how you go about purchasing it, but 100% of the profits are going to.
But yeah,
Costco.
it would be really interesting to see the figures of what the conversion rate is to the in-game gold to money.
You can buy her.
Oh,
Just found
there you
her.
Or what in the store?
A quick. Yeah, it's on the store now. Blizzard store, $12.99.
go. $12.99. Wow, that's pricey.
That's expensive for a skin.
But
It goes to a hell of a cause.
yeah, it's
admittedly.
100%.
Maybe you can't buy it with in-game currency then.
Okay, so
maybe
you
I'm-
just
maybe I'm
completely lied.
But yeah, maybe I'm just full of shit.
Cool. All right.
I wasn't trying to call you out. I was just interested. So I just googled it. And,
Do you want me to,
I found it.
I can go. It's fine. You guys can just keep going.
Put your headphones.
He can't hear me,
Hold
but
on.
I'm going to tell him the date. Anyway, it's available on May 21st. The skin it's $12.99.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The skin's already
Yeah,
out.
it's a good cause.
I've seen it in game.
I'll probably get it on payday actually,
not
just
in
because
game.
I
What
think
are you
it's
talking-
Already seen the skin in game. I literally was playing with people yesterday that had the pink Mercy skin. I've seen it.
Oh wait, no, sorry,
I
I
see.
lied. I lied now.
Oh, it's
I've
until
misread this.
it's until May.
It's until May 21st. You could buy it now.
Right.
So I might buy this actually because this is for a good cause. Because it's $12.99.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with a WoW pet. It was
Yeah, I remember that actually.
the shape-shifting cat.
Yeah, I remember them doing
Last
a charity
expansion.
thing
Yep.
before.
And that pet was like 12 quid, and all the
Yeah.
proceeds went to
Something.
a charity. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was really successful. They sold like 2 million pets. It was insane.
Well, it's the thing. I think if people know it's going to a good cause, they're probably more willing to put the money into it.
I mean,
than just
let's be
buying
real
it
as well.
for-
Like a company like Blizzard, like they just don't even need to make money off of this. Like
Yeah, no, absolutely.
the publicity alone is more than enough. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's cool. I'm fully behind this.
The
Good
other
job, Blizzard.
The other little Blizzard tidbit that has come out
Tidbit.
is, yeah, thanks for that. There was a Romanian hacker who did some DDoSing
DDoSing.
on the WoW servers, and he's just been jailed in the US,
Good.
which
Bye.
is pretty full on.
Bye. Bye.
That's all I'm going to say about that. I thought it was an interesting.
Bye.
I mean, so
Interesting
there's
outcome.
a big controversy. It's a really good topic, actually. It's maybe something we could talk about on a later podcast, but like the actual ramifications of people hacking games and,
I mean, funny you say that. I was actually reading an article today about the kid who's being sued by Epic for cheating in Fortnite.
yeah.
Not for making cheats or selling cheats. He uploaded a video showing himself. He was like, "I'm cheating in Fortnite," and Epic are suing him. So yeah,
I
that
know
was an
some
interesting topic.
games have like T's and C's written in the T's and C's that like you can be permanently banned and prosecuted for
Yeah.
editing game code and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's making a derivative work of the game. So any code that you inject into the game is then classed as a derivative of the original game, which is a breaking of the license.
it was. I remember back in the early days of World of Warcraft, it was a really big problem with gold farming because it wasn't illegal. It was just unethical, So you'd get literally all of these hundreds and thousands of Chinese gold farmers like sitting in a room, multi-boxing 8 accounts, like doing the same shit and then selling the currency. So like it was only later that they made the actual act of selling the in-game currency illegal, and they were like, you can get banned and fined. Like, but even then, it was not like threatening jail time or anything like that. It was just like a slap on the wrist, pretty much. But
So yeah,
it's interesting. I think that's an interesting topic. We should write it down.
yeah.
Let's talk about it later.
Az, do you want to do the Thanos Fortnite?
The Thanos. Yeah, well, that's it in itself. There's not too much to say on it, but I'm sure everybody's seen that Thanos is in Fortnite.
Came out of nowhere.
You can't. Yeah, I know, very random. Like it was like okay, and it's like the film's already been out like a fucking week as
yeah,
well.
that
Like
was the weird thing.
normally affiliations like that are normally like leading into a film's release or like on the day of the release or something like that. But it's just like here you go, Thanos is in the game. We didn't, speculate on it prior.
Yeah, they didn't
but
hype
here
it
it
up
is.
or anything. It was just like, oh yeah, we're just going to release it tomorrow.
So
It's kind of
right.
cool, but it seems weird a week after the fact. That was all the
Yeah.
only weird thing to me about it.
So you said they put him in the game,
Yeah.
like
There's a
is it a
special.
new
It's a
game
it's
mode?
yeah, it's a special
Okay,
special
yeah,
Thanos game mode.
Yeah, so it's solos only, and you basically have to go around and gather the materials for it, and then like once the materials have been gathered, you can pick up the Infinity Gauntlet, and then you basically come back out of the game and you drop back in as Thanos. If you get killed, someone else can then go pick up the Infinity Gauntlet and become Thanos as well and play the game.
But
like
whilst you are Thanos, you can't use any weapons or the usual stuff. You are just Thanos. You have like a laser. The gauntlet fires a laser, and you can like jump crazy high and do like a ground smash.
So I'm assuming like once you are Thanos, you have to collect the Infinity Stones.
No. They're gathered first.
Yeah.
Oh, so you?
I don't think you even have to gather them. I think you just pick up the gauntlet. I don't think there's a.
I thought I read that you have to run around the map and find some shit, and then once all the shit's been found, it then spawns the gauntlet.
The gameplay that I watched was that the gauntlet hits the map in a meteorite at the beginning of the game, and then the gameplay that I saw, the person like saw it on the corner and they just go and pick it up.
They could have created some really cool stuff with this game.
Yeah, it's just something they've done quick and easy.
It's just a dumb, quick and easy thing. Yeah.
Apparently, like the Russos, the directors of Infinity War, like they were saying, like they used to nip off during Infinity War filming to have Fortnite sessions, so they're big fans of the game, and they literally phoned Epic up and was like, "Do you want to do something?"
A little promo thing.
Yeah,
fair enough. It would have been really cool to see a game mode where like there were 6 teams each one defending a stone, and like one player as Thanos had to just go wreck everyone, get the stones, and then like
click his fingers. Yeah,
that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But,
it's
that's the thing.
Yeah, it's just the thing. They literally announced it on Monday. I'm like, yeah, we're going to release this tomorrow, and everyone's just like, wait, what?
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's out. It's gonna. I assume it's just going to be up for this week.
I like that spontaneity though, because it doesn't happen anymore. Like I remember back in the day where like you wouldn't even know a game was coming out until like 2 days before, where you saw the advert for it on TV and you were like, holy shit, the game is great. I'm gonna buy that. I
like that release way of like. I don't like the. What we're currently experiencing with Anthem, where they announced it last year and then it slipped, and it's like, Jesus Christ, when's it coming out? Like, I'm sure it'll be good when it comes out, but it's just the wait. But like, I prefer it when they're like, we've made this game, it's coming out in like 2 months or 3 months, and it's just like a shorter window. Like, I think that's a much. I mean, I guess it's hard to keep stuff a secret, like if it's been in development for like 5 years or something.
The internet is a thing now.
But even so, like. Yeah, the shorter kind of announcement to release window is
nice.
It's quite nice.
It's nice.
Anything else? Mr. Az?
There's that Trailblazers game which you put in the doc. That looks quite nice.
I put it on for a few weeks and failed to talk about it, so I'll just mention it quickly. It's a
game. It's called Trailblazers.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a new little racing game, but it looks like a cross between like Mario Kart and Splatoon. Whereby the cars, it's 3v3, so you're in teams of 3, and your teammate, whoever is the furthest ahead out of your 3, paints the track in your team's colour, and then that colour then speeds up your teammates. So it's a kind of
quite interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting little twist.
Yeah, interesting little mechanic. But then how do you ever get in front?
Well, no, so it's just between the teams. Like, so you're one of your team. If you overtake your teammate, then you start painting the track.
Yeah, but what about the enemy team? Like, how are they ever going to get in front if your team is constantly going faster than the other team?
I don't know.
Go watch some fucking gameplay, Perry.
Anyway, it came out on PC and PS4 yesterday. And
I don't like you two today. Fuck you two.
Comes out on Xbox today.
Sulking in the corner. I don't care.
So yeah, it's out. You can go buy it, try it, play it, see what it's like. Looks interesting.
There we go. It does. It looks alright actually. Looks okay. Looks good. That it. We good. We good. We're gonna move on the finale.
It's what we've all been waiting for.
Unprepared finale. The moment we've all been waiting for. The argument that none of us have prepared for or anything like that.
I'm always prepared for every argument ever, just so you know.
No, you're not.
I am, always. See, I was prepared for that. Fucking won that, didn't I?
Such a poorly...
Won that argument.
Poorly argumented from my side.
Anywho...
Oh,
PC and console. That is our little topic of the week.
Yes.
Why is Siri talking to me?
What was that?
It was Siri.
I said PC versus console. That's the question.
Siri was like, yes.
Well, I mean, if Siri wants to weigh in on this, what's she got to say about it?
Hey Siri, what's better, PC or console?
Okay, I found something on the web for what's better, PC or console. Take a look.
No, fuck you. I ain't reading that.
Well, that was good.
Good job, Siri.
Yeah. I was hoping she actually had an answer.
Yeah, she does come up with answers for the weirdest things, so it's possible she might have had an opinion.
So we have an interesting mishmash of opinions, really.
Yeah, I guess I'm falling on the console side.
Yeah.
Although it should be said, I have been a PC gamer in the past, but these days I play primarily on console. What are you grinning about?
Nothing. I had a funny joke in my head, but I knew it would offend you, so I didn't say it.
Fine. As is in the both got his foot in both camps because he currently plays on PCs and consoles, and then Perry.
PC Master Race.
PC is PC. Perry.
PC is a Perry Master Race.
Yeah. Perry PC.
Oh, it's all going wrong this week.
Yeah, I like
Perry
PC
is on the
games.
PC.
I prefer to, if I have a choice.
You've had consoles in the past.
Yeah,
we used to play on Xbox.
But I've only ever played on console because there were console exclusive games. So back when Destiny was only on console, I played Destiny on console.
Of course, yeah, Destiny.
But then,
was,
but then when it comes out on PC, I'd rather play it on PC. So,
yeah,
I mean, I've nothing against actually going back and playing a console but again, it's only because the game I want to play is on console. Like when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in 2073, I'll I'll buy a console and play it. So that's about it, really.
Cool.
Good
argument.
Otherwise, give me a computer with lovely, nice, shiny graphics and.
You much prefer mouse and keyboard anyway, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Like shooters.
So I've played I played Overwatch at Ed's, and I just can't do it on mouse and keys. Like there are some champions on Overwatch with
you mean on controller?
With a controller, yeah. There are some champions on Overwatch with a controller. It's just impossible to play. Like Winston, like to be able to do like the jumps and and fully use his mobility. You have to set your sensitivity up to like 10. So you can like quick look up, jump, then look down, and then follow the person.
Right.
I imagine the same problem. There's the same problem with like Genji and Tracer. Like I think these high skill ceiling champions are like must be quite tough to play with on console.
Yeah,
they're not just like horizon line your sight up and shoot.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine Reinhardt as well. Any brawler, I suppose, like Reinhardt or Brigitte, it must be quite hard to play on console. But yeah.
But then I guess if everyone's using controller.
Oh dear, we've lost Az.
Oh,
don't worry, I'll get you back. It's only the TV.
I was gonna say I'm definitely here. I can hear you. I can see you. Yeah, no. For me, it's. Oh no! This is.
What are you doing?
All right, just shut up.
This week's episode has
literally chaos. Both the TVs are off. Can't see anything.
No, just shut up, both of you, and carry on talking.
I'm going to talk anyway. So yeah, for me, it's the opposite. Like I've always played on both basically.
Yeah.
So I've never been that guy who's like I have a preference. I've always jumped on games between both. Like a lot of people have that difficulty. Who I know, I've had friends who have moved over to PC in recent years, and they wouldn't touch a lot of games now on a console with barge pole. Like, for instance, I've been playing Wildlands on Xbox recently, and obviously that's only 30 FPS on a console. And I've got friends now who wouldn't touch it on the Xbox because the frame rate is too low, and they wouldn't want to play it unless it's at a higher frame rate.
See, stuff like that is like, I have to question how much the frame rate makes a difference.
A huge difference.
To me,
it depends on the game.
To me,
it does depend on the game.
Yeah, to me personally, I've never really seen it as a hindrance. Like, if I want to play the game, I'll play the game. I wouldn't not play something because it's not of a certain.
It's interesting how.
I get what you mean. Go on, Ask. Go on. I'll make my point.
So I was just gonna say it's just interesting how. If you play the same game side by side on two different consoles, it's interesting how the frame rate does really affect the play of the game. Like for instance, like Rainbow Six Siege on console, it's. Don't get me wrong. It's a slow, methodical game on PC as well. But the shooting aspects of it is amazing how much slower the players are on console because of the frame rate differential and things like that, and not having the speed of a mouse and keyboard. like on that, I mean, because I don't have problems switching between playing on a pad or playing on a mouse and keyboard either. Like I can play shooters on both. So like for me, I'll go on Rainbow on a console. I'll toot my own horn, and I'm pretty fucking good at it on console. I'm better on it on console than I am on PC because I've played it on PC more. I'm used to those kind of reactions on that game of just
because your reactions are kind of slowed down on console, you can sort of perform better.
I just kind of have more time to think. You have more time to think and be, and adjust your aim and stuff like that. Whereas on PCs, because you are moving quicker because obviously you're not moving quicker. You've got a higher frame rate and stuff like that. You do have to be more twitchy with your shots and stuff like that. It's like playing two different games, kind of, because of that differential. So playing on PC is vastly different.
I think that's
playing on the console.
That's the biggest point, really. Like you said, like if a game came out on console and it was in 30 FPS, it wouldn't bother me because that's how it was designed to be, right?
Yeah.
But it's the situations where you play a game on console and then play it on PC and then you see the differences.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. I mean, Destiny 2 is an example.
Yeah,
obviously
it's a great example.
The PC version has an uncapped frame rate.
Yeah. It's a huge difference.
And the one thing that bugs me about the PC version is the fact you can change the FOV. That's the one thing I wish I had on console, is an FOV slider.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, the field of view change is game changing.
Yeah.
Like
watching streamers play it on PC, and
it's
like
huge.
It looks so much
huge.
nicer with that bigger field of view.
Yeah, I think the point that you made as well as, can't remember what you said. I can't remember what I was going to say to it either.
About the frame rate, the controller, I don't know.
The controller, yeah. So I was basically just gonna.
Oh, what is happening? Who was that?
It's Dad.
That never happened.
Don't worry, they didn't see him on the stream because
I've
I
pointed
the
it
door
out. So
See me going.
fuck off.
get out.
Good job, Dad. Like games where I've
Hold him recording as well.
Yeah, games where I've been playing with pad and then gone to mouse and keys. Like Destiny is a great example. Like I used to be really good with Destiny on a pad, but then now I'm playing mouse and keys. It's like I'm so much better. Like especially in PvP, like it's noticeably different for me. But yeah, like I'll always pick mouse and keyboards over.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing. I mean, obviously, all the big FPS games. I mean, famously, Counter-Strike is PC. Originally a PC game. It has come to consoles in recent years, but that will, its staple is the PC version.
Interestingly enough, actually, when Final Fantasy X HD Remake came out on PC, I bought it and downloaded it, and I was playing. I couldn't play it on mouse and keyboard. Like I was like, I can't. This is weird. So I had to use my corded Xbox pad.
Okay.
To play that. So that's
it is amazing how some games are like that. You just can't. Some games just can't be played on the mouse and keyboard. Well, it can be, but
I suppose.
It's like playing Tomb Raider. Like for me, Tomb Raider is a weird game. You can't play Tomb Raider on a fucking mouse and keyboard, in my opinion. It's just weird.
Designed for a pad. Like games like that are designed for pads. Like
so, I guess in essence, it's almost the more third-person-y sort of.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's always been my rule of thumb. Is like the third-person-y kind of games are your controller / console games, and it's your shooters that are more like affected by a mouse and keyboard.
Of course, the big thing was the original Xbox, with the advent of Halo. Halo was the first big console FPS that made it work.
Yeah.
Like before that, like FPSs were almost left out on consoles. I mean, you had
they're very jarring.
Yeah,
stuff
I mean,
like
you had stuff like GoldenEye and things, which obviously did pretty well.
But even they were shit.
Yeah, it was.
But even then, like if you go back and play that's fucking ropey as hell.
Yeah.
That game, it's so bad. You're like, how did I think this was good? It's because it's all we had at the time. That's the thing.
So yeah, I mean, Halo really changed the ballpark for FPSs, how FPSs could be done on console. And I guess that's paved the way for what we see today with all the Call of Duties and.
It's like funny you mentioned Counter-Strike. It's like, did you ever play Counter-Strike on a console?
I haven't played on a console, no.
They brought Counter-Strike Go out on Xbox 360. I mean, there was a Counter-Strike on the original Xbox as well, but I never played that. But Counter-Strike Go on Xbox, I can't explain it. It just the aiming just doesn't feel like it works. Like just on a, I think it's because the thing is, I don't think they adjusted for things like auto aim. Like on console, it's amazing how much that little spike of auto aim really makes a console get a shooter more accessible.
Right.
because when you don't have that, it's like PUBG on console as well. It's like the aiming on that is just it's just something just not quite right about it. Like you can tell it's a PC game that's been moved. Same with Counter-Strike, is that you can tell that was a mouse and keyboard game that's been shifted to a different platform. So you can for me, but as a player of both, I can really.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you can actually physically feel the difference.
We're talking about PUBG. I mean, the main complaint about the movement on that is it's still set up for a WASD control.
Yeah.
Even though you're using the pad, so the movement, the sort of WSD like control is mapped to the stick, so it doesn't move properly on a console as it should on a console. And that's one of the big bugbears that
I can't get my head around that
fix.
right now. My brain is too melty.
It's I know what he means because I've played it. It's weird because obviously on a stick you have like, is it like 16 points of maneuver or whatever it is around on the ball, whereas on WASD you only have
4.
Technically
4, but then
technically 8 because you do the left and
that's it. It's 8. So you're basically missing. Yeah, you're essentially missing the other half of the
so the movement's
movement on a console.
Slightly jarring. And that's one of the things that they really need to get fixed. I mean, the whole console versus PC thing, I mean, the thing that usually comes up when people are arguing about which format is better is the sort of the hardware side and how the consoles are locked into their cycles. And the PCs, PCs are upgradable, you can constantly change them. And I'm wondering if that, the ecosystem we have had of console generations is changing, because obviously recently we've both the Xbox One and the PS4 have both seen like mid-generational,
I think there's
technical updates.
Yeah, I think there's another side to it as well, because it's not just that. Like, there's definitely a loyalty aspect as well to it. Like, people
naturally that comes along.
PC Master Race, that entire.
But that comes from constantly having the latest gear. I think that's
I was going to say, the other side of it is the financial, like you're just touching on there, is the financial side of it. I know a lot of people who will just, and the other thing is as well with PC as well, some people aren't very savvy at using a PC. So having a PC for them is out of the window. So I know people who would much rather a console because they can literally pop their disc in, turn it on, happy days. And they've never played a PC, they just play a console because of that reason.
I mean, it's funny because that's the switch that I made, because I'd say I was a PC gamer for many years. I've built, numerous machines over the years for myself as I've upgraded stuff and built machines from scratch. But I got to a point where I preferred to sit on my sofa in front of a big TV than go and sit in, lock myself away in my office and play on my PC for hours on end. It was more the relaxation and comfort aspect that moved me to console, and I found that. Yeah, I mean, you have.
It does depend on the setup. I get what you mean. It kind of when you play on a PC, it feels like you're kind of in the office.
Yeah, I was literally going to say when you get home from work, and because I'm a web developer, I sit in front of a laptop and at a desk all day, when I come home, I'd like to just go slump on the sofa, turn the TV on, and just it's definitely a relaxation thing. Whereas if I got home from work and then went and sat at another desk, it's not to say I will never do it again, but there was definitely a point where I was actually, because I had a console at the I think I had a 360 at the same time I was still playing on PC, and at some point I found myself playing on the 360 more just because of this kind of natural shift that took place. And since and then at some point I switched to a Mac and it all went downhill from there. But so that's why I kind of became a console only gamer, let's say.
I think
it's
go on.
Sorry, you go, pal. No, you go.
The point you made about costing as well. If you are a serious gamer, the cost associated with constantly upgrading components in your computer is just so much higher than buying a £300-400 console. The next time the next console comes out, you know, it's you're a prime example of this. How many times do you upgrade components in your computer? And
to be fair, in the past, because obviously as you get older, financial setup changes a bit. You have other responsibilities and whatever. But obviously, when I was younger and my money was much more expendable, I'd just change shit all the time. I'd constantly be doing
Just
stuff.
be like, oh, there's a new graphics card. Sweet, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Like,
don't get me wrong, I'm still a bit like that now with graphics cards, but like my processor I've got at the moment and stuff like that, I would have. There's already two newer generations of i7 out since the one I've got. I've got a 6700K. They're currently on the 8700K. Don't get me wrong, I really want an 8700K because they're fucking lovely bits of gear. But I can't justify just spending £350 on the processor now, especially because really for gaming, what I've got currently is more than suffices for anything that's out right this moment, and there's nothing coming out in the next probably year or so at least that's even going to tax my processor.
But then like
even GPU wise, like I'm good now.
But then the counter side to my argument is the example of me, who I spent £800 on my computer, and that's it now. That's future proofed for.
So how long ago was that?
That was what? When did we build that? About 6 months ago.
That was last summer. Yeah, so in the summer last year.
Okay.
I don't remember, like ago, August or something.
You built it in my old place, yeah. So yeah, I mean, and I mean, but then again, the games that I play on it aren't particularly demanding. I think Destiny was the most demanding game I ever played on it, and that's not like that's not huge. I play fucking.
I mean, this is the other. I mean, speaking like that, it brings you on the other topic of like the difference between the machines and saying what's better and what's not. It's like the whole 4K argument. I mean, you personally playing 1080p.
Yeah.
So what you've got right now, I mean, you're building a GTX 1080 and stuff like this, and I think you've got a 7700K and whatever. Like what you're playing right now for 1080p is overkill technically, because you do not need a GTX 1080 to play games in 1080p at all. So what you're running right now is far beyond. Whereas, like for me,
it said 1080 on the box, so I bought it because. No, I'm joking. I'm not that much of a fucking dunce.
1080 means 1080p, right?
Yeah. Right?
1080
so like,
pounds.
Nearly fucking cost £1080.
So, but like for me, like I've got a 4K TV and stuff like that, so I want to play games in 4K. So I've got a 1080 Ti. So, again, there's that comparison of like console of like having that true 4K. I mean, Xbox One X right now is doing a real good fucking job of getting some 4K content out there. But the only way you could do that before was having a real high-end PC. I mean, Microsoft have done some marvels with that machine, in my opinion, to be honest, especially at the price point it's at.
This broaches another question. It's like, to play these top-end games these days, do you need a fucking £1,200 PC to do it? No. You can play games in
What the hell is that?
Our window's open and there's fireworks going.
I was like,
can you?
being shot.
Is that loud?
That's the sound of the clusterfuck that this episode has become.
No, okay.
No.
So back to the point: is do you even need a huge computer to play these games in the quality that you want anymore? And I think the answer is no. Like, if the Xbox One X can comfortably play games in 4K. Then get a fucking Xbox One X.
£450.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's still like £450 less than you would pay to build a computer.
More than that. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's £600, £700 less. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I get why people do it. The game is changing, basically, people.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, excuse me. The point I was trying to kind of allude to was like, do you think... So the PCs have this upgradable nature, but now that Microsoft and Sony are starting to push these sort of, I don't even really want to call them mid-generation because we don't know how they're going to progress. But do you think these kind of iterative consoles are going to become more common?
See, for me, and this is what, if I was in charge of one of these companies, I'd look at things like the iPhone.
Yeah, no, right? Absolutely. I agree.
Like, with your
100%.
phones, and this is the thing that I don't understand, that it's not embraced, and it's thought, it's too much money and stuff like that. But a lot of people will buy a new phone every year.
Yeah.
Right? You'll go out and spend. I mean, a lot of people obviously will get it on a contract or something like that, but a console is a smidge cheaper than a £1,000 iPhone X or something like that, So for me, it's like, why can't they, once every 2 years, instead of saying, here's PlayStation 5, here's Xbox One X, whatever, Xbox One fucking 20. Why can't they just every couple of years just give us a new machine, and then these games just tick along with it? Why do we need to have Like, especially the way things are these days, why do we need to have a PS5, PS6, PS7?
I have to say, I'm wondering if Microsoft might be moving towards that, partly because of their backwards compatibility drive. The fact that they now have their entire Xbox catalog, or a good chunk of, available on the Xbox One from the original Xbox through the 360. I am wondering if this is an ecosystem they're planning to carry forward.
I think they should, personally. Yeah. Like, why do they need to? Why is it? I mean, that old school thing was. I mean, obviously, it was very different. I don't know, when like PS2 came out after.
Of course.
Everybody had that hype of like, okay, what's the new interface going to look like? What other bells and whistles is it going to have? What's going to be slightly different? Things move way quicker now in tech than they were back then.
I think that
so you could have these gaps.
I think that the biggest problem is the initial cost that it's going to cost the average gamer to buy a new console. Like, it's all right for us. We've all got full-time jobs. We all earn fairly decent wages. Like, we can probably afford to go out and buy the next console when it launches. But some 15-year-old kid,
but then this harkens back to what we were getting at, is that if everything's the same, you don't have to have a separation in console. So, like, the original Xbox, right, is a vastly, vastly different machine to what the Xbox One X is. The power differential is fucking ridiculous, right? Why can't we just move on like that, and that these games can still play, but they're scaled back so they can play on these older machines?
I mean, currently, obviously, you have the One S, which is like the let's say lower end, but it's the cheaper,
the baseline.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Sorry, it's the current baseline, the One S. I'm not even sure you can get like a regular Xbox One.
No, you can't
It's
anymore.
just the One S now is the standard. So they've already kind of like shifted the step up from the One.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but like, there needs to be a cost-effective way to do it. Like, I mean, you made the comparison to mobile phones, but like, I've never outright bought a mobile phone in my life. Like, I pay a monthly
but that's what I'm saying. But the price difference is very different to a phone.
But it's still significant. Like, it's still 450 quid. Like,
but okay, right. Let's change the comparison then. The comparison is the same for if a new graphics card comes out, and then someone who can't afford that new graphics card is still playing on a 3-year-old graphics card. You can still play on your 3-year-old graphics card the newer games, but it's going to be shitter.
Yeah.
Right? You with me? Why can't they just bring out a new machine? But if you can't afford that new machine, okay, but the games are the same, so you just play it on your older machine. It might not look as good as the new sparkly Xbox, but it's the same game.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and that's what they're starting to do. Like, all the stuff that's coming will play on the One S and the One X. The One X will have nice 4K fancy bits and HDR and all that stuff and look nice, but the One S versions will still play just as
the games, but in 1080.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm not saying like they should release an Xbox every year, because that would be too much. But I'm saying maybe once every 2, maybe 3 years, just refresh rather than go, here's a new Xbox, here's Xbox 4, Xbox 5, 6, blah, blah, blah. Just go, here's a new... Yeah, right. I mean, they could still call it that, I guess. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not a fundamentally different machine, is what I'm getting at. Is it still... You can still play the games down the line.
Rather than completely changing the ecosystem like they did from like 360 to Xbox One. It's essentially, as we were talking with the iPhone, when you get a new iPhone, when you fire it up, it looks exactly like your old iPhone, but it's just got new hardware back in it.
Exactly, because they could do the same approach as well. It's like they could slowly phase them out. So say, like, I don't know, the next Xbox comes out after the Xbox One X. Your Xbox One X is then the middle console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then maybe the one after that, the Xbox One S is then phased out, and they say, okay, it's not going to be able to handle these newer games. So you slowly phase them out.
Yeah.
So still the same. So like they do with iOS, like iOS in Apple, obviously after about 4 versions of the iPhone, they say, okay, this one's not going to get updates anymore. It's dead, right? Yeah. Then you're forced an upgrade. They should do it. That's the way it should be, I think, with consoles. Is a similar sort of thing. Maybe not obviously every year, but every few years, just keep going and ticking along like that.
I think doing it that way works as well, because as long as they don't take away playability for games that people already have, So if they say
Yes.
when the Xbox One S is no longer supported, you can't play any of the games that you have. It's like that's a bit of a push. But if they say you can still play
newer
them,
games.
yeah, you can still play them, but the
Yeah.
newer games you need the new console for. That makes sense. I'm okay with that. I mean, who knows? Maybe we will see this sort of new culture be adopted. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I think things are pointing to them doing it, and I hope they do it because I think it would be a smart move on their part. And it'd be interesting to see if Sony kind of follow suit really and see like, I mean, there's already been rumors and stuff that they're working on what is being dubbed as PS5, whether it will actually be a PS5 or some other iteration of the current PS4. We don't know, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that dynamic shifts in terms of the competition between the companies.
What I would really like to see as well is like when we get to a point where when you build your own PC, you can almost custom build your own Xbox or console.
I would be against that,
really,
because I actually like the Apple ecosystem for the fact that everything is fixed.
Okay.
Like when you buy an iMac or an iPhone, there's some customization. You can maybe get more RAM or a bigger hard drive or something, but like the components are standard, and it cuts down on issues really.
I suppose as well, like, why do you need it? Like, there's no point customizing.
It wouldn't really work for a console.
They could do what they've done in the past and release variants which have bigger hard drives. Like here's the Xbox One X with a 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte. You choose what version of that you buy.
That's the only hardware differential that wouldn't be too much of an impact. But I think like thinking about it, if you do get into a situation where you can customize your graphics card, your processor,
you could never.
You'll just be bottlenecking one side of your console.
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
I think that does make sense.
And that affects developers and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
They all work off a core, like setup for a machine. Anyway, we've got a way big tangent there.
Wow, I think it was a good topic of discussion.
Good conversation.
Yeah, it was a good
conversation.
I think that's a good.
We went from console versus PC to just here's how consoles should be in the future.
I think that's probably a good wrapping point. I think we've.
I was gonna say, I think we've exhausted.
It's a good conversation on it. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know your opinion of what we've spoke about, and also let us know what you prefer to play on and why. Like why, for example, if you are a console gamer, why do you stick to console? Or same as PC. So let us know.
Leave it in the comments below.
I'll let Az do the socials this week.
Ed did it last time. He did all right actually.
I
to
nailed
be fair,
it. What are you talking about? It was awesome.
Nailed it. It was all right. It wasn't as levels of good. But
I remembered all of them.
you actually
did you?
You did, yeah.
I even mentioned the bell.
I think the reason you effed up.
You've got to mention the bell. I'm very big on the bell.
The reason you effed up was because I effed you up.
I don't remember.
I think I'll have to listen to it back.
I nailed it. What are you on about?
You nailed it. All right.
Did it have the heart and enthusiasm that it has when I do it? Though?
Anyway, go on, go.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up. Follow us on everything. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us at Guys Playing Gs. That's at Guys Playing GS. Subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell. Perry's nodding. See? Don't upset that face. Hit the bell. Get the notifications. Be told when we're releasing shit, which is every Thursday. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Guys Playing Games. Follow us on Instagram at Guys Playing Games. I already said Twitter. That's everything. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/IIAZAII. It's probably down below somewhere. Follow Ed on Twitch, twitch.tv/Smelly9000. That's all our stuff. Follow us on everything. This has been a weird and fucking wonderful episode, and we're done. We'll see you next week.
Catch you next week when we talk about maybe something. Don't know.
Well,
we'll figure out what we're going to do next week, and then we'll tell you.
I should probably say I probably won't be here next week.
Oh yeah,
I'm moving house on Tuesday.
You
two-man show.
Can be here.
Well, we'll see how dead I am.
You can. I'm moving house with you on Tuesday.
Yeah, but then I've got to then continue to move house.
No excuses. We will see you.
We will two-man the fuck out of this.
That's true.
It'll be fine. I trust you guys. What could possibly go wrong?
It'll just be like fucks and vaginas and dicks everywhere. It'll be great.
Wonderful. Anyway,
in light of that, look forward to next week, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye.